Hey everybody, it's Miss Nelson. So we're going to do a fun take on the checkerboard in our Zentangle challenge today. So for the younger grades, I showed them how to do a checkerboard and how to do a wavy checkerboard. Okay, so you just have to make sure that in the first row, you alternate dark, light, dark, light, dark, light. In the second row, it's the opposite. So if this is dark, this one's light across, and you just keep alternating. The wavy checkerboard's more of a challenge in the corners where things meet. It gets kind of dicey. So you just have to make sure to find a really clear square that's dark, and then in the next row, make sure it's light right below it where there's a long slide, and then at the corner, it's dark. Light, dark, light, dark, okay? So then I didn't know what to do over here, so I went back out here, dark. I wanted light here, dark, light, dark, light. So you just have to keep track of making sure that the dark sides don't touch each other when you're filling out this checkerboard, and that'll keep you on task there. But I'm going to show you a fun take on this that's a lot more challenging. Okay, so I'm just going to make a square area to draw in. I'm going to pause the recording so I can sharpen my pencil. All right, so my pencil is now as sharp as my wit, and we have a square. So I'm going to make a checkerboard just like before, trying to make the lines pretty straight and trying to make them pretty much even, although it's not perfect. Okay, but we're practicing. It doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. Mistakes are okay. Okay, like I've got a weird little row there that's not really very happy. Okay, so what you do is in each of these squares that it made, you're going to do in the bottom right corner of each square, you're going to make another little square like that. Okay? So you're just going to do them all, trying to keep them somewhat even. Okay? Just like that. And I'm going to keep going. So I'm making a little, like, it's kind of like there's a little window in the bottom right corner of every square on the checkerboard. Okay. Okay, so I have imagined that the squares that got smaller and smaller kept going behind this border, and that's how I kept it from getting like really weird. Okay, so now that all of these squares have a little square in the bottom right corner, I'm going to go in and color those little squares. Okay, just color them in. Do a pretty good job so they're nice and dark to contrast with the white, right? Because when contrast is when we have two different things next to each other to make them stand out. So by having a dark square inside of the light square, we're creating contrast. All right. So you're going to color in all of them, right? But I'm just going to color in a couple rows so that you can see what the next step is and how it looks. So I'm just going kind of quickly here. Boom, boom, boom. I know it's in the area of my lens where it gets all blurry. I'm sorry about that. If we do 3 rows or 3 columns, you start to see the pattern here. Ugh, that really bugged me. There we go. Make that corner even. See how mine aren't perfect? That's okay. That's okay. All right, there we go. So I've got 3 across by 4 down filled in. I would ideally color in the whole thing. It's starting to look kind of like a building, isn't it? So here comes the tricky part that's super fun and that makes it op art, makes it an optical illusion. We're gonna go in each of these squares, one by one, we're gonna go from the corner of the tiny square out to the corner of the big square and make a line. Oops, make a line. Just like that. Do, do, do. On all of them. And we would just keep doing that with the whole thing. But look at how 3D that looks. It creates the look of like cement blocks or boxes stacked or a building or something like that. So that is your Zentangle pattern for this week. And please go ahead and take a picture of what you create and post it for me to see, and I will see you next week.